guys, it's Papa G here, and I'm just going to lay down a real quick tutorial about how to make a Day of the Dead decoration for a sugar skull. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in. We did start already, but I'm going to go ahead and start from the beginning, so this is a complete tutorial. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click on New Project, and I'm going to make sure that the DPI here is 100. In this case, 100 is going to work just fine. Now, on the width and the height, I'm just going to go ahead and type in 1,000 pixels for each one of those. And I'm going to name it Decorations. Now, I'm going to go ahead and push Create here. And now we have our square canvas. Now, the square canvas is going to help us a lot because this is basically where we're going to house decorations that we've already created. I'm going to try and just make one right now, and then later on we'll add another one. Well, let's get started. All right, now the one that I want to make, it's kind of like a flower or a flower-ish looking decoration. And in order to make it, and this is just going to be black and white. I'm not. If you want to add color to it later, you can. But for instructional purposes, we're just going to go with black and white. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my shape tools. Now, we have the rectangle all the way down to the custom shapes, but I'm going to click on a parametric shape. Now, parametric shapes, they come in all shapes and sizes, of course. And the first thing you want to make sure when you choose your shape tool is that you're making a shape, not a path or a pixels, but an actual shape. Now, once you've done that, you've got some other things to take care of. I'm going to fill it with just black. So with my fill, I've got black. And the stroke, I'm going to leave nice and empty. All right, so here's the deal, though. When it comes to, a parametric shape, it's basically a polygon. How many sides do you want? Now, the standard or the default is 5 sides with an inner radius of 40 and 0 radius on the corners. And when you click on that, what you get is basically a 5-pointed star, just like you'd see on the American flag or on the Dallas Cowboys helmet. But that's not what we're doing today. What we're going to do today, let me go ahead and close this, is we're going to start with a black fill. And we are going to pump this up to, and by the way, we have the polygons, stars, arrows, and spirals. We have a lot of different types of parametric shapes, but the one we're going to do or going to work on right now is a star. But it's not going to be the kind of star that you see, on a flag. It's going to be a star with 15 sides. Now I'm going to go ahead and type 15 in here. And the inner radius, I want you to pay close attention to this. I want you to jack all the way up to 85. And let's see. There you go. And then the corner radius, I want you to turn all the way up as high as it goes, which is 50 pixels on the corner radius. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click one time in the middle of the screen or the canvas, excuse me. And while holding Alt and Shift at the same time, we're just going to drag outwards. And when I do that, what it does is it grows it from the inside out. And now I have got a beautiful, the beginning of a decoration. And it kind of looks like something you'd see on a pie crust or something where it's got a wavy scalloped edge on the outside. And this is what I want to emulate for the shape that I'm looking for. Now, once I've done this, I can go ahead and switch to my Move tool because I'm done for at least a little while using the Shapes tool. From here on out, it's just keyboard shortcuts. Now, what I'm going to do is take this one shape and I'm going to duplicate it by using Control J. Now, you can see there that I've copied it. Of course, you can't tell it's there because it's exactly the same size, shape, and location, so it's right on top. So I'm going to free transform this baby by pushing Alt-Control-T. In this case, if it was Photoshop, it would just be Control-T. And just like we did to make the original one, we're going to hold Alt and Shift at the same time. so that we can shrink it from the outside in towards the center. And I'm going to go ahead and crank it down to about right here and accept the transformation, but I don't want it to stay in that same color. So I'm going to click on my shapes tool so that my ribbon comes back, and I'm going to change the fill from black to white. So now it's starting to get a little more interesting. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, wash, rinse, repeat. I'm going to Control J and copy it. There it is. And Alt Control T or free transform, holding Alt and Shift, and shrink this one just as well. Now, this doesn't have to be a certain number or anything. I'm just kind of guessing at what I'm stopping when it looks right or when it looks good. So if you want your gaps between the black and the white to be different, that's up to you. Now, let me go ahead and change the fill on this one to black so we have an alternating color scheme here. All right, now the next thing, and by the way, this is ultimately annoying, but when you're done changing the color, it doesn't just disappear. I have to click on the drag bar up here at the top. Just click one time and it disappears. So there we have it. Now this is the background shape of the decoration. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to go back to our shapes tool and go to the ellipse. Now in the ellipse, I'm going to do kind of the same thing that we did before, where I hold Alt and Shift at the same time. And I'm going to click from the middle and pull outwards. And when I'm done and I'm relatively sure that I like where it sits as size, I let go. Now, at this point, it's just a black circle. Because I was holding Shift, it's a perfect circle. Now, I'm going to take out the fill so that it's not black anymore. And I'm going to change the stroke to white. And there's white. Whoops. Let me go back to the solid line and go down to about 17 points here. So now it's not perfectly centered, so I'm going to take this opportunity to center it right there. You know what? I think I should do that with all of them, shouldn't I? Oh, it's probably a good idea. There we go. Okay, so now they're all centered. Oh yeah, that's way better. Now that they're all centered, I'm going to go back to this layer, which is this top layer here. And I'm going to go into my shape tool options again. And I'm going to change this solid line from solid to dashes. Now, when that happens, it takes your outline or your stroke and it turns it from a solid line. You can either have dashes, and these are dashes with hard edges, but if you change the caps here, you can have it rounded edges. And of course, you can change it to dots, just like a dotted line. Now, this next part is up to you on whether you want just a few big dots or a bunch of medium-sized dots. But one thing you're going to have to look out for is here at the bottom, if you don't have the size just right, these two on the bottom either are too close together or not close enough, and it looks kind of funky. So you got to choose the perfect size that doesn't annoy you, so to speak. Okay, so now after we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and switch to my move tool and click off of it so I can look at it and make sure that I've got everything lined up and I like the size of the dots. We're good. Now that we've done this, the next step is to go ahead and zoom in a bit. And this time, what I'm going to do, and this is, this is not anything that you have done before, at least not with me. I'm going to go ahead and just click real quick in the middle one time. Now, what this does, because I've got my ellipse tool, I want to do a new ellipse, and I'm going to go ahead and make it 35 pixels by 35 pixels, and then I'm going to click on OK. And there I have an ellipse. Now, I still have the same settings from before, so I'm going to change this and give it a white fill and no stroke. There we go. So now I've got a dot here. Now this dot, what I'm going to use it for is to use it as a reference. This is what I'm going to use for the next step. And one thing that's important, please pay attention to this, is after you've made your dot, you have to click underneath it here, right there, and then start doing our next steps. So the next step for us is going to be to go to our pen tool. Now, in the pen tool, I want you to make sure that you have clicked on it and you look up here that you're in the shape mode. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to have a I want you to have a white fill with no stroke. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry, I messed up. I can't believe I did that. Let's do this again. Let me click off of everything. And I need to use my pen tool, make sure that I have a white fill with no stroke. All right. And then with my pen tool, I'm going to go ahead and click right up here, kind of where would be 12 o'clock high. And let me go ahead and zoom in a bit so you can see real close what I'm doing. I'm going to click right here in between these two dots, and I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to pull slightly to the either right or left. It's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and go right and then let go. And then I'm going to click right here, right where the dot is. And then I'm going to go back here and click there. Now I have created something that looks kind of like a petal, I guess you could say, of a flower. And I guess I'm going to make this look like a flower. So here I've made my shape. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that it has a white fill. Now, this is where things get a little more fun, I guess you could say. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to make a bunch of them all the way around. Now I'm switching to my move tool here because I don't need to make any more shapes. I'm just going to duplicate this one and make it go all the way around. So having said that, let's get started. I'm going to take the shape and I'm going to duplicate it by using Control J. All right, so there it is. Now this shape with the Control J thing, I've got it here, and next thing I'm going to do is a free transform. And if I tried to just like move it and turn it, I would drive myself nuts going all over the place. No, what I want to do is I want to take this square that's in the middle. And I know we've all done this where we accidentally click in the middle and the square moves, but the shape doesn't. That's because this is the rotational center for our transform, our free transform tool. So now that I've moved it out here, if I take it and try and move it, try to rotate it, it rotates around that center. All right, let me undo that and restart the free transform. So I'm going to take my rotational center here and move it to the middle of this white dot. Now that I've done that, all I have to do is turn it and we are good. But the thing is, here, I haven't let go of it. I want to make sure it's exactly on the opposite side of it because, it's really hard to get it perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold shift. And if you'll remember, if you hold shift while you do this, it'll click in degrees. And if you put it right here on the bottom, it'll stop right where you need it. And then you let go of your mouse and you let go of shift and click the confirm check mark. You now have created your first two petals. Now, here's the deal. What I need to do now is this is the where you really have to listen. I'm going to take the one that's selected right now. I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to click on the layer that we duplicated. So now you can see they're both selected. And once I do that, all I have to do is Control J to duplicate. And you can see right here, there's copy 2 and copy 3. All I have to do now is do a free transform. And then I just turn it a little. Yep, that just happened. All right, so now that I've done that, you'll notice it's still, so they're still selected. I'm going to go ahead and hold Shift and select all 4 now. You can tell by the little blue line, they're all 4 selected. All right, so what do we do again? Wash, rinse, repeat. Control J to duplicate. There they are. And then free transform, Alt Control T. And now I've got 4. Now, the rotational center is already where it needs to be, so we don't need to move that. All I have to do is rotate from the outside, and there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and keep doing this. One more time, Control J, and then Alt Control T. And just like I said before, you keep going, and there we go. Just like before, we are creating some really cool stuff. So now, I believe this is just about the last time I need to do this. I'm going to go ahead and hold Shift and click on more of these so that they're all selected. Even though I don't think I need all of them, I'm still going to go ahead and select them. Then I'm going to Control J and Alt Control T and rotate one last time. Almost there. There we go. So now when I click on my check mark to accept my changes, here we go. I now have a full-on flower, and I'm going to zoom back out and click outside of it to deselect. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a fully prepared and ready to go. Now, if you keep it in this file, this decorations file, later on, if you need to, you just take it and drag it into another project. Let's say you're making a sugar skull and you want to put a couple of these on there, maybe as the eyes or maybe a decoration on the forehead or the chin. All you have to do is take it out of this file and drag it into the one you're working on. That way you don't have to redo this every time. Now, I will tell you though, you'll get really quick at this and it will work nicely. So what I want you to do is create one of these using the steps that I showed you here. And it's a lot of Control J to duplicate, and that whole changing the center of rotation to the middle here, that's new for you guys. So make sure if you need to, you go back and rewatch that. Also, being able to change the stroke from a solid line to dots or dashes. Now, if you want to choose dashes instead of dots, that's up to you. If you think it looks better or if it works better for yours. I will gladly look at it and I'll gladly grade it. Now, after you've done that, go ahead and save this as a JPEG, and I want you to upload it with the assignment. All right, little G's, you all have a wonderful day. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. And as always, if you need anything or if you have any questions about this assignment, get a hold of me. You know how to do that. So, all my little G's, you please have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see all of your artwork. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.